Dr. Goddess was asking about.
That's one form, right? That's good.
Well, you ask people that's in domestic discipline, they will shut you down quick if you say they're BDSM and kink. They don't want any affiliation with BDSM and kink. It's kind of it's weird. It's a blurred line. It's a line that can get blurred quite easily for sure for those allowed. So
Google. You can Google.
There's books on it. Books on that. Yeah.
Google domestic discipline and then click on images, and you're gonna see.
Gotta mess up the algorithm.
Go into incognito first.
Go incognito.
Yeah.
But Google that and click on images and see it's a whole bunch of people getting spanked. There's cartoons, and I was like, y'all are out of your damn mind. And the thing is, like, they come. I mean, remember, I was in the Black group, so like all the stats like about marriage or like domestic violence or like anything negative, in the Black community, they believe that this can all be straightened out with Black domestic discipline. And so I was just be in there screaming. I mean, I was like, why did I get introduced? Like, don't introduce somebody like me to this, because I can't. First of all, I mean, just the rules alone. Like, if I gotta keep the house pristine, I'm getting beat every day. Okay, so that can't happen. Then it was always like, it was just ridiculous. But they were serious, and I was like, and then there were a couple people that were like, I'm in college, I just can't concentrate. I really need someone to keep me together. And they was like, yeah, I can do it. I where you at? I was like, you know what? Because you can't study. You need to be spanked in order for you to study. I can't. That was a trip. That was a wild ride. When did I leave that group? I don't know, maybe like 6 years ago, something like that. But it was very funny.
What platform was this on, Dr. Guys?
I don't really want to. No, actually, it's on Facebook. So that's how I found
there's
it.
A lot of them on Facebook. A lot of different.
Yeah, that's how I found it. And I was like, when they say Black domestic discipline, I was like, oh, okay, like what's that? And then I didn't know anything about it. Then I realized that the Black people are getting it from the white people. Like literally, when I went back to like the creation of the group, all of the memes, the cartoons, the excerpts, they were all white authors and white men spanking white women in cartoon or in real life. And I was just like, I'm not understanding, like, one, first of all, this is unacceptable even in the white community, and number two, why Black people, why are you adopting this?
I don't know if it's fair to say that we're getting it from white people. Like, that's something.
Well, they did.
Like, even when it came to BDSM and kink, people claim that's some white people shit. Why are we taking this on? That's white people shit. It's not. Like, Black people have ties to BDSM and kink and domestic discipline, just as gay leather men have ties to World War II, coming back and doing this thing and having this secret hanky code and so on and so forth. So no, it's not just white people. There were Black people that were part of this from the beginning.
But isn't domestic discipline like a set?
Well, who is? Well, I mean, if you want to say we got it from white people, because when it comes to the religion, that is typically the foundation of domestic discipline. If you're talking about Christianity and so on, then yeah, for sure. But I guarantee you will come across, if you were still in that group, Black people in domestic discipline that practice African spirituality and incorporate that into their domestic discipline, for example. But if you're talking about the religion itself that's being the foundation, I can see where you're coming from.
Well, that was the group that I was in. That was the group. But I mean, But I did, like I said, it was very interesting just to read, like, all the stats about single mothers, for example. They believe, that could be solved with domestic discipline. And, violence, not studying in school, like it could all be solved with domestic discipline. And I was just like, y'all, clearly I am one of the wayward ones. I'm one of the undisciplined in the community. I'm a detriment to the community because I will never submit to this bullshit. That was my assessment.
See, I need to get off the Clubhouse because I can see a way to monetize this, writing books about. I can't do this. No, I've got to have some kind of standards here. I need to leave y'all alone. Dr. Goddess, this is your fault. I blame you.
I'm sorry.
You know what's so crazy? He said something about white people, and I did a Google search, and it was talking about how African societies use physical endurance, restraints, body modifications, initiations into adulthood involving whipping, canning, fasting, isolation, public performance, obedience, and ritual bondage. Ooh.
Don't threaten me with isolation. I try that as much as I possibly can from the public.
I guess I ain't gonna be African enough either.
Yeah, I can't do it.
I mean, Patty, she didn't even wait 2 seconds. I was like, Prince, there's been some people in here that have been very bad girls. She was like, not me. You come at me with
Yeah. I even said, I'm gonna make it clear, if you're not on me, I'm calling the police because you should have had a condom on. We started off with a condom, somehow you slipped that motherfucker off.
Oh, I am crying. Oh my goodness. Y'all are too funny.
So what do y'all do about the people? How do you know the people are streaming in here? How do y'all find that out?
Isn't it usually the echo you hear in the background or something?
Oh, is that what it is?
What'd you say, Quinn?
I said, how do you find out? How do y'all determine the people are streaming the room? How do you figure that out?
Oh, I don't. So other people tell us. They'll tell us in the back channels, or they'll say it in the chat, like someone's streaming the room. This particular kid guy is a weird dude. He's obsessive. He's obsessed with streaming rooms.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know people was doing that prior to this, but I mean, that anonymous, but I don't understand why they even let. I mean, you could tell Clubhouse is just trying to create some kind of parody by doing that, by allowing people to be in rooms anonymously. Like, what would be the point of being in a room anonymously?
I do anonymous when I want to spy on other rooms, and I don't want them to know I would even grace their halls. But yeah, I don't do it that often.
So I did ask in the email about a 5-minute time limit, and I think a lot of people have been complaining from because I think Mel was in there earlier, and then I came into the Clubhouse room, and they were saying that people in the chat were saying this anonymous thing is going too far.
I mean, we can see what that was. I mean, obviously, there's nothing but a bunch of deviants on this fucking thing to begin with. Like, who couldn't have foreseen that being a problem?
Right. I get it if it's 5 minutes, okay? 5 minutes max, maybe even 10 minutes. But to sit in a room, this fool sits in a room. Then he's really weird. This dude claims they say he's ran for a seat, but he sits in rooms, has multiple phones. He has a mental health issue. This John Kittman guy has some type of mental health issue. I'm not the one to diagnose him because I ain't his doctor. I'm not a doctor. But just looking at his page, he's weird. At this point, he stalks people. He's a stalker.
He hasn't raised $1 for his congressional campaign yet.
He is a stalker. Somebody need to do a health check on him. And whoever watches his page, he is crazy. If you ever see this stream or whatever video he's recording, this man is crazy, y'all. He should never win any office. He shouldn't even have a job at McDonald's. He's a threat. until he gets some mental health, some type of behavioral person, something's wrong with him.
He be having rooms on Clubhouse, no one ever comes in.
Yeah, talking to himself. And then he got the nerve. I wouldn't even have that stuff recorded. I keep that to myself. If you go to his pages on Clubhouse, he has rooms where he's the only face in there.
Wait, but recorded of that?
Yes, he has recordings. And you know how he doesn't turn the replays off? The replays is here. Look at talking.
Is he talking? Is he talking or is he sitting there silent?
Go check out the chat. I just put it in the chat.
I hope he's recording this for his VA medical health specialist so that they can help him with his mental health issues, because he's crazy. And he'll never, he can't work in public. He can't. He needs to have non-workable 100% VA disability. He can't be in society until he gets some type of help.
He even has a screenshot of our PTRs. This man is off the chain.
He's crazy.
I said last week that this guy had a mental illness, and I think it was Sloan who said to me, how come in the chat, why do I say he has mental illness just because he's doing this? This is obsessive compulsive behavior.
Chad, at this point, Sloan get on my damn nerves.
This is way beyond.
Salome be booty clapping and shit, and her ass won't come on stage no more because she's scared of the motherfucker. Girl, shut up. At this point, that's why I was like, girl, shut up. You won't even come on stage because you scared. You want us to accept the bullshit.
Who's that? Who's that?
Let me be quiet. She ain't in here. I'll wait till she in here so she can defend herself.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I agree.
Like saying stuff about people when they ain't around.
I'm back.
Who's I'm back? My belly now?
Yo, my eyes are dilated, and I couldn't see the machine trying to put in the PIN number to pay for my food. And my husband outside, and I'm trying to get his attention. It's a freaking hot mess. Unbelievable. When they check your eyes, they dilate your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I needed those Stevie Wonder glasses that they be giving you.
Girl, these motherfuckers dilated my eyes one day and then have me sitting there for an hour and that's why I don't fuck with.
Because you was driving.
Right? No. Yeah, but this why
I don't drive.
In the Army, they be like, you cannot get your eyes dilated without having a driver. Civilians, these motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's the way they do it over here too.
Sit for an hour and be like, drive home. Motherfucker, I knew the stop signs because they red. I was like, they done lost their fucking mind.
They only had me sit for like 20 minutes and turn my ass loose, but then I was sitting in the store trying to buy my glasses too, so I guess that counts for more time.
My husband, since he's the one that drives, he doubles up his thing. So he uses the little one they give him that curls up, and then he'll put his shades on top of those so that he's able to drive. Oh my God. Well, they said I don't need glasses, guys. My eyes is getting, I know I can see the difference from last year to this year, but they said it's not as, I don't need glasses, reading glasses, should I say. Maybe next year I'll need them.
They told me the same too, but that's because my eyes was working. My eyes were messed up. So it's like sometimes I can be all good all day, and then there's these days that sometimes I'll blur.
I think I'm just tired at that point. That's what happens to me. Usually around 7 p.m. That's what starts happening to my eyes. They start blurring. Like I can't, when I look at the screen, trying to look at you guys, it's like.
So maybe you get some of those blue light glasses or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, my partner wears those sometimes, and he got an ugly ass pair.
Maybe I'll put them on
a cute pair.
Welcome to old age.
In October, so I can say that I'm fishing.
Every time I get my eyes checked, they come out perfect. That's the bad.
Yeah, I was reading like the smallest line at the bottom, and then they told me to read this book and this little paragraph, and it was the paragraph that was all the way at the bottom, and I was able to read it.
Yeah, that's how I be.
When I tell them at times, my eyes go out. Like, I be like, that, what the fuck that says?
Yeah, that's how I had to tell them, like, my eyes go out. That's why sometimes I'm like, Lord, let me get my glasses, because then my eyes are acting up. And then there's times that I just read, like I can go like 2 days with no problem, and then one day it's just like start blurring automatically.
CEO, what happened? You came back because Brooklyn left?
I didn't know Brooklyn left. I just am on my little break in between meetings. Brooklyn's cool, but she just is out of control. Like it's like she don't care about evidence. A lot of people do. They don't care about the evidence at all. You know, it's Rico, and it just doesn't seem like he do.
I mean, she said she's been to swingers parties, so it's like a lot of that is, you know, your normal and my normal is different. So you know what I'm saying? People just don't see anything wrong with certain things, but there, of course, everything has limits, right? Does this hurt the sex worker industry or not? I kind of think it does. No? What do y'all think about that? Because people are not going to want to pay these people.
It doesn't promote the sex worker industry, no?
Well, I was going to say it's going to be difficult for these people to get paid, right?
No, money's always up front. What are we talking about?
Or they'll just figure out ways around it. It won't stop that. That's the oldest time.
Wait, do they take Venmo or not?
Some people do.
I'm sure they probably do.
Zelle, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal.
Also noted, a lot of people wouldn't have come if they weren't subpoenaed. They wouldn't have even shown up. I mean, the basis of what they do is anonymity. In a lot of ways. But yo, this motherfucker is still streaming this shit. That's crazy. I'm like watching my text messages pop up on this shit. It's crazy.
Wait, who's still screaming?
Kitover.
Yeah, whoever the
John Kitover.
Oh, I have a question. I just got an answer from YouTube that they received my report and they're going to be investigating.
When did you do yours? I need to see if YouTube emailed me.
Go to your junk emails, Patty.
I got it at 12:32 at Pacific time. Hope you heard that, gentlemen. He usually ends up making the room private after that.
So I got some breaking news. Judge, this is kind of old, but maybe this is just an update. Judge rejects Trump's attempt to stop asylum claims. The judge wrote that neither the Constitution nor federal immigration law gave the president the authority to adopt an alternative immigration system. Federal judge in Washington ruled on Wednesday that the Trump administration cannot categorically deny entry to people crossing the southern border to claim asylum, striking down a change made on President Trump's first day in office. The ruling rejected the idea repeatedly put forth by the president that such extraordinary powers were justified to curtail what Mr. Trump has called an invasion of the United States by immigrants crossing the southern border. In a hefty 128-page opinion, Judge Randolph D. Moss of the Federal District Court for the District of Columbia wrote that the Constitution and federal immigration law did not afford Mr. Trump the expansive authorities he claimed. The court recognized that the executive branch faces enormous challenges in preventing and deterring unlawful entry into the United States and in adjudicating the overwhelming backlog of asylum claims of those who have entered the country, he wrote. But neither the Constitution nor the current law governing asylum seekers, Judge Moss wrote, could be read to grant the president or his delegates authority to adopt an alternate immigration system.
So can Matt still get deported?
Hey, what did I do?
You've been in this country a long time. Bad.
Can I at least get a hello?
Hi, Matt.
Hi,
I
man.
just walked in the room.
I hope you like Alligator Alley.
No, they need to send them to Sudan, where they sent the Asian.
Oh, yeah, Sudan.
He said he's gonna deport some American citizens, and he's looking at denaturalizing. So some of y'all that's sitting up here talking about my family came the right way, he about to send your ass back the right way.
He said it. He said y'all been bad, and if you don't get sent back, he gonna give you to the farmers who are oversight on you, responsibility for you. Does that sound familiar to anybody? And just remember, when you're out there under the control of a farmer, a responsible farmer, that you voted to be doing it. Man, they gonna need help down in Texas. You're gonna have to go out there and start helping folk. You know, your community, you know. Don't you have a community of people that need help?
I come here, bringing peace.
But we ain't bringing peace.
Hey, can I ask Mel a question? Or April Plus or Patty Plus? I'll go Mel, or maybe even CEO Plus. Today is my last day for the Plus, and I want to know what should I be doing on my last day.
I think until Facebook gets this anonymous shit fixed and does something with this other little person down there getting their jolly some recording and streaming and shit on YouTube, that we should just forget our plus status. No, Pete.
Well, real quick, I have to run, but do not leave the Plus community.
I paid for the year.
I need a reason.
Scotty, leave, because I'm leaving.
Okay.
Your reason is peer pressure and to differentiate yourself.
No, my reason is that we got a psycho in the goo, and they're not doing nothing.
Do you want to be downgraded, Scotty?
You gotta
or you want to stay upgraded?
No,
You want to be a conformist, Scotty?
No, if you pay for monthly, I suggest you go ahead and get rid of it.
I want to be one of the people. I'm tired of sitting in first class, y'all.
No, I like first class. I like how you eat. I love that you get a different menu. I love that I get a little bag with my little cover my eyes to go to sleep. Yeah.
Patty, the cutlery right?
Yes, yes,
You know,
yes.
you got a nice glass.
And
Y'all never flew jet.
you will get a drink. You will get an alcoholic beverage.
The second you sit down.
Exactly.
And you don't have to worry about not finishing it, because once the flight takes off, they will be serving it to you again.
That part.
That's right. You don't have to slam your drink in desperation.
So,
Patty, we had talked about Delta One. Was it Delta One?
Oh yeah, Delta One, they give you the leather bag, not the little first class bag that's made out of cloth. They give you a leather black bag, y'all. The little bag for your yeah, it's amazing.
toiletry.
Also, I wanted you guys to know that the big beautiful bill, it has changes to student loan repayment. It says there's just going to be 2 options, but there could be a third option. You could go to Alligator or Alcatraz. Because it could be criminal for you to have to pay or not pay, or you haven't paid yours yet. So
They'll close down that place before that happens, April. What do you think?
what are you thinking? Water
There you
the
go.
place is
Wow.
real. Are you
Never ask for. You already know
Sam.
what water's thinking, and you don't want to know.
Sam, the place is built. What is wrong with him? Honestly, I need to know what's your malfunction. The place is built.
I've been researching.
They say they
There's
could
a
have built it
federal
in
lawsuit.
72 hours if they didn't have to follow certain guidelines. You out your mind if they're going to shut it down. Shit.
You know why?
You're in the Matrix. Thank God. Thank God for the interruption.
What did they say about what's the big beautiful bill have to say about student loans?
Oh, it's going to be down to just 2 payment options. That's in the bill.
I actually have a student loan update for the room. If you will give me a few seconds to bring it up.
Seeing my sister and smashing these stupid.
I'm just here to bring the terrible news. So, top 10 changes. So, obviously, medical residency is now also going to count for PSLF. Before, they tried to eliminate it, but they were able to get back in. So, if you are a medical doctor and you work at a public hospital, you can have your debt forgiven. I believe now it's up to $200,000. Next, there's always been this thing, like people file, if they're married, they file married filing separately in order to get like lower repayments. You can still do married filing separately. That's a big deal for a lot of people. Like I actually know people who are willing to get divorced because of this. And like they text me and they're like, should I get divorced? So this is a thing. Anyways, if you're on the new income-based repayment plan, they're gonna keep that. I'm on the SAVE plan, and I believe that's gone away, but that's another story. Parent Plus borrowers now have to July 2026 to consolidate. So you have to make sure. So I would go to studentloanplanner.com if you are a Parent Plus borrower to read more information on this, because you might be screwed. I'll skip a couple of these. So the pay plan might survive a couple of more years. So if you're on the pay plan, but the biggest takeaway, I think, I'm sorry. There's a template now for codifying the SAVE plan. So the Democrats can save the SAVE plan, and if they get their act together. So that's a takeaway. But the biggest takeaway I see is new borrowing limits. So you can only borrow a certain amount to go to school. For undergrad, it's $100,000. Grad school is $200,000. Unless this last minute gets revised, that's what it's going to be. So your school will probably work with private lenders So you can no longer borrow the maximum from the federal government. The max you can borrow is $100,000 from the government as of July. Anyone entering a program July 2026, maxed out at 100. Grad school maxed out at 200.
So that means only rich people will be able to afford college.
No, that means that poor folk, or anyone, the rest of us would have to get private loans, and we all know how that's going to work. So yeah, I do think that unless people can, come from family money, there'll be less people going to medical school, law school, etc., or taking out private loans with much, much higher interest rates.
Or maybe the price of education will come down.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I'll just call you it. Because I only acknowledge one Matt, and he's not here right now. So I'll just call you it, because you look like it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll take this. At least it doesn't start with a shh.
Osin, did you talk about the part where people making $4 million a year will get around a $400,000 tax cut?
No, this was only about student loans, Scotty. Do you want to continue to drag, the Republicans a bit more? Feel free. This is always a safe space for the Republicans, MAGAs to get your.
Thank you for that opportunity. I could tell you more about the tax implications, but I don't know. I'm kind of over this shit. But in case you're wondering, people earning $988,000 to $4 million are averaging about $44,000 in tax cuts. People earning $388,000 and $988,000 on average are going to get about $19,000 back. And I know what they're going to say. Oh, but they pay more anyway. They pay whatever. I get it, but let's go all the way down. And the people earning up to $51,000 are going to be paying $580 more. The people under 17 will be losing about $940. People making up to $93,000 will get $815 more. So congratulations on that. But also, Medicaid is going to be completely unfunded, and all of the other cuts. So, yep, there you go. The biggest wealth transfer ever going to the wealthy from the poor in America. What a great country.
All right, do you have any good news, Scotty?
Nope.
Nice.
I'll look, but I don't think. What would good news look like exactly? Give me an example.
Edit this PDF.
What is the Christian response exactly to cutting SNAP benefits, food stamps, things like that?
They love it. They're loving it.
insurance.
No, which Christian? Hold on, which Christian camp are you talking about? There's many camps within Christianity.
No, of course. The camp that loves this, that response, so whatever camp that is. Because I know a lot of Christians don't love this.
They were already at $2 per meal. So they're being cut down from that. Notice Matt.
I'm sorry, but
Matt is on the phone. I just wanted to point that out. As soon as he gets on.
for the rest of us, the CEO as well, maybe they're talking to each other. I think I read that Trump has already frozen $6 billion that was intended for summer programs that are currently in progress right now, Boys and Girls Clubs and others that enrich children's summers and feed them. You know, we don't need that. America first, but not America's kids first.
I mean, do we talk about the fact that it's going to become more of a police state? So while they're cutting services for poorer people and welfare programs, they're adding $170 billion to immigration enforcement. 51.6% billion to build a wall on the border, which is 3 times the amount Trump had spent on the wall in his first term. And $45 billion for detention, that's billion with a B, detention facilities, and an increase of 265% in ICE's annual detention budget.
I'll put the link in the chat. People always want me to put the link in the chat, so there it is. Sorry, Scotty, but yeah, that too. And I just saw an article headline that says that Alligator Alcatraz has already flooded. Like, that's not going to be a feature. It's just a problem.
Oh, wow.
I mean, when you build something in a swamp, like, why are we surprised? It was literally, like, Everglades is literally...
Yeah, that's why they've never built anything over there. It really is nasty. But that's Florida for you. No offense to Floridians or ex-Floridians.
I'm from Louisiana, not from Florida.
Okay, well, you keep telling yourself that. The facility will cost $450 million a year. Reimbursed by, wait for it, FEMA. I'm sure this is all going to go well. $450 million a year to run that facility, Alligator Alcatraz.
And it's flood prone, and it's in the way of hurricanes.
And if you've ever been down to the Everglades, you know how nasty and disgusting it is in terms of climate. It's terrible. I mean, Florida's bad enough.
Hello. What are y'all doing? Hello. What's up, Haitian?
It's like a moment of silence in this motherfucker.
So, I don't know.
It's a moment of silence for Diddy.
They came, you remember when they came in here and was like, "Oh, what's going on? You guys, what did Brooklyn say in the chat? Are you guys going through it or something?"
What?
I'm like, "No, we good." You guys were the ones that said that he was gonna be found not guilty on nothing. Y'all got the fuck. Y'all should be crying, not us. We said he was going to be found guilty on something. That's what we were all saying. They were saying, nah, he's free. He's free. He ain't never going to. Yes.
Wait, what is that? Honestly, the case isn't as impactful as the comments that people have. That's the problem.
Oh my God, the comments on YouTube were bad too. I was like, oh Lord.
People have then you think about like why we don't want to fucking report most of the time. I could care less if his ass goes free at this point. But at the same time, for some these niggas to be fucking working for this nigga talking about he did nothing wrong. I'm gonna have a daughter if he think like that. Or even a son, shit, because his ass.
Yeah, I think that I do agree that the comments are worse than this whole thing. Because I was watching YouTube and they were arguing in the comments on the live feed. I was like, oh my God. And you gotta pay to you have to have a subscription to be able to speak on YouTube in the live feeds. I was like, it's too spicy. Did you guys do your work today? I don't think so. Get to it. Get to it. Well, you gotta read your book and you gotta go trace. Yeah. And you gotta read your book and do your math. Let's go.
Otherwise, you're going to end up in freak off.
Mama is back. Y'all better recognize.
No, that's a lot to do at once. That was a lot of instruction.
No, it's not.
Yo, tell
Yeah,
me.
no.
Have you ever gone outside and like yelled at the top of your lungs?
Well, I yell all the time.
Yeah, one time I went outside and said, fuck this shit. My goddamn neighbor was like, are you okay?
Give your sister her tracing book.
Patty, I love it.
Yo, it's hard being a mommy. You feel like
Summer is hell. Summer is straight hell.
I just want to be like,
You know what? I want a tracing book. I miss all that shit. Like, why can't I do that as work?
You can go to Amazon and get
But I have to do real shit.
You can go to Amazon and get you that whole box.
No, I want to get my
remember 2 pages, please. Thank you.
The sharpener on the back.
And make sure you read your chapter book. Thank you. Thank you.
Said a couple of years ago, adult coloring books were popular.
Yeah.
On the dining room table. On the dining room table. Thank you. All right.
Yo, Mel,
I'm pretty sure I bought one.
tell them your plus, Mel. They'll listen. The full record.
They usually do it early in the day, but I went to an appointment. You see how kids, they take advantage of you when you're not here. So I'm back now. So they got to do it now.
that sound about right.
Yeah. I told them to do that before getting on the iPad, but that's what happens when mom is home.
You know, when I was little, right? When my mom would go to the Philippines, she would go for a month because the ticket's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And while she was gone, there was no fucking rules. My dad didn't know what to do. Like food, we would eat. He would order pizza. That was our dinner for 2 days. And that was our dinner and our breakfast. How he made our lunches, it was like the whole.
Oh, that's how it's gonna be next week when I'm not here. Watch. I already know.
The whole big bag of chips, he'd be like splitting the Girl, one day I went to school with like, you know how you got a Kroger plastic bag?
Yeah.
My dad put the chips in there and tied the bag up. I was like, Daddy, I didn't want to eat my chips at school. It looks disgusting. He was like, you eat it out the plastic. I was like, yo, Dad. When they got a wife that do stuff. Come on, fuck.
Nah, my dad would send me to a lady a few blocks that knew how to do my hair because there was no way he was touching this shit. There was no motherfucking way.
My mom
So
was
he already knew.
Well, I guess because I was raised by my dad, I'm like very organized with my kids, so I'm the opposite.
You a man, we talking about little girl. No, I'm just kidding. No, but the food thing was a problem.
Y'all definitely spoil your daughters. You men.
Did somebody just say whorehouse? What are we listening to?
Who said that? Oh, no. I was trying to hear the end of this.
Oh, it's the end of something you listening to.
Is kind of thrown out, and now what faces is 10 years because he has 2 counts, remember, that he's convicted of transportation to engage in prostitution. 2 counts that could a maximum of 10 years behind. Here's where the question
My mom would get my hair braided.
10 years each. That's the maximum. That would be basis. Could it be consecutive? Could it be concurrent? There are a lot of question marks about all of that, and I'm sure we're going to break it down here on Law & Crime as the days go on.
My dad had no nighttime time. We'd be like, I think it's late, y'all gotta go to sleep. Can we just watch this show? Okay, when the show go off, my dad let us sleep on the couch. On the days that we had school days, because if we fell asleep watching a show, he didn't want to wake us up. It was bad. It was really bad.
My dad used to take the circuit breaker out at night, at 9 o'clock at night, like or 9:30, because that was bedtime. So we couldn't even fucking after a while, we couldn't even turn the lights on. That's how much we didn't fucking play. So I would take a flashlight and read books underneath my bed, and I thought I was like a rebel.
Yeah. I was content with my mom leaving for those 30 days because it was really no real rules with my dad because he didn't know what to do. So I'm content with my hair being nappy and frizzy by the time I came home.
Oh my God.
We got to watch TV and watch because it's really easy to sucker a father if you're a daughter. I'd be like,
oh yeah, 100%.
I just want to watch one little show, and he'd be like, okay.
Look,
I'm laughing because when I come home, the girls' hairs are like this.
Right. Hair all.
Look, my dad waited hours for a Cabbage Patch doll for me, the talking one. Okay? My dad would do a lot of BS. Okay? I put that man through hell. But I was always my life became so easy when I was the only kid in the house. I had free range. It was I'm the last one, so I did every fucking thing. Free range. Once my sister was out, so she was kind of like the wild one. She smoked weed, at parties and stuff. When she was out, my dad didn't give a fuck what I did.
Child, let me tell you, one summer, my dad, let us go to the pool the whole time my mom was gone. And mind you, we get braids when my mom leaves. By the time she came back, it was I had mini breads.
Wait, hold on, you're breaking up.
Stinky on the inside because the only thing he knew to do was shampoo it.
She's back on schedule now.
Wait, you saying you have?
Oh yeah.
By the time you came back, you had dreads.
I had dreads in the braids. My hair was kind of stinky when they took the braids out because my dad shampooed it, but he shampooed it with the braids in my head.
Ah, shit.
He was like, "Go wash your hair." So we just washed our hair with the braids on our head. So by the time my mom came back, it was trying to take it loose. The hair was and I got really coarse, curly hair. So that shit is bad. It was bad. My mom had to cut pieces because it was so
shit. You never relaxed your hair?
Huh?
You never relaxed it?
I did before, but it kind of messed up my, you'll have some parts that's curly, some parts that's straight.
Yeah.
Down. So it's it looks bad. So now I don't do that.
Why is it every Levant night turns out to be a van? Where's my gardening?
So does anyone think, will they ever legalize prostitution? Does anyone ever think of these type of things?
You mean federally or more states? I don't know.
Or more states? More states or at a federal level?
I'm sure more states will, but it ain't happening federally, absolutely not.
Man, you still talking here? It's like 100 years already. Concrete, man, do something.
Do that.
You can't just keep coming here and
Yeah,
talking
I
all
mean,
the
the
time. You
entire
can't do any work
southern
that way.
U.S. is
Talk
going
all
to do
the
that,
time.
and most of the Midwest won't do that, or the mountain plain states. I mean, so there's only probably like 10 states that would do that.
New York, California.
Yep, New York,
Florida.
California, Florida, yep. Massachusetts. I don't think what else. I don't know. Beyond that, I'm not sure.
You think Florida would legalize it?
It with a different governor.
Yeah, this new Florida, I don't know.
Yeah, it would have to be like when a Democrat was governor.
And then it would depend on who that Democrat is.
Cocaine Cowboy, Florida, yeah. This new Florida.
But how is it legal in, didn't someone say the history about it being about truckers or something in Vegas or Nevada?
You mean how did it get legal in Nevada? Just because it is part of the whole vice ecosystem, right? Like, just think about what Vegas is built on: gambling, casinos, etc. You know, you can smoke everywhere, indoor. I mean, so like, you know, it's just part of the vice culture.
So, just in economic news, there was a ADP jobs report today, which was pretty bad. But the jobs report, which usually comes out on the first Friday of every month, is coming out tomorrow because of the holiday. at 8:30 a.m., which will be very interesting because it also can play into interest rates coming down as well, among a whole lot of other things. The ADP report was projected today to be an addition of 95,000 jobs in the private sector, but in fact it was a decrease of 33,000 jobs, which private sector jobs. And although it's not an exact mirror at all of the jobs report for the labor statistics, it could be an indicator. So we will see what happens.
Fun times. All right, anyone got some good news here?
I mean, I'm digging. You know, I think in the big, beautiful bill, there is a provision for real estate agents that they can get a $10,000 deduction if they buy a luxury car, but I believe you only qualify for a luxury car to transport clients around if the car is worth $130,000. So I am not.
Well, that's positive.
I've never seen anything like it before. Generation 2 barely.
Do they still have that like tanning center deduction or something? Is that part of this thing? I don't remember that. Remember there was like tanning beds or something? I forget. I don't know if it's part of this bill.
Are you joking?
No, you about the tanning beds? Or
Yeah.
tanning? No, that was in some. Hold on.
It's a real thing.
No, it's a real thing. I swear to God.
Of course. Okay, same idea. Only this one's a 1,000-pound robot. Charlie, I think there's a whole robot in there.
You want that piece of junk? You get the card yourself. I'm through here.
Oh, I guess that was a good one.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's still in the bill, but this is Forbes though. This was last month, so I don't know if it's still in there. But it's basically a repeal of the tax on indoor tanning services adopted in the law created by Obamacare.
Hey, everybody. Scotty, I thought that was a joke. That's crazy.
No, I'll post the link.
Oh, I believe you, baby. I'm just saying, teddy bears are deadly.
Yeah, from
That's so bad.
well, they love them in Alaska. Or seasonal affect disorder. Yeah, what did the Forbes headline said? Make America tan again. Big, you know, I can't even. I'm just gonna post the link.
Did you guys speak on Cassie's lawyer writing a letter to the judge to deny bail, and also a letter from Cassie's stylist asking to deny bail?
I thought that they did.
Yeah, I think Dr. Goddess read
okay.
letters, but
No
not
problem.
from Cassie's somebody. I don't know what you just said, sorry.
Well, there was so first Cassie gave a statement from the lawyer, but these two letters are asking for the judge to deny bail. So, okay.
So, Scotty, as you consider whether or not to lose your plus, I just want you to take a look at half the stage has pluses, half don't. Which group do you want to be in?
This is good. Let me take a look.
Patty got stuck in a year. She didn't know that she
Hey, Mel, stop cheating. Mel, stop cheating.
Stop. So Patty, she does not. She's disqualified.
Stop it. Nope, she has a plus.
Haitian and April told me they're gonna expire too.
For a year, and
This wasn't a contingent
You see,
conversation.
Haitian, you got a year too?
Who has a plus and who doesn't?
Sure about
That's it.
Oh, okay.
Nah, I'm looking. Let's see. I mean, as much as I love Patty,
Look at Water and Royu and Roslyn and Sandra.
you know what? Whatever.
And Sue.
I'm with Sandra.
Oh, and Sin doesn't have a plus. And Black Freedom. Okay. You know Black Freedom got that $4.99. Y'all better stop playing.
Wait a second.
And he was like, no.
wait. So if I'm on Sandra's side, I also have to take Water.
Yes, you do.
Oh, you don't.
Yes.
No,
you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
There's only
It is. Which group are you in?
Look at Matt. No plus.
You got to make the decision.
Look at the group. We only got 2 plus.
No, we're only talking about stage. We're only talking about the stage. Only on the stage.
You don't want to be with none.
Scotty, don't let them.
Yeah,
you want to be with Water and Matt? You want to be with Water and Matt, Scotty?
I'm gonna have to speak to my accountant.
Y'all crazy.
How much are New York parking tickets these days?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Sue, because I didn't tell the stage, I got my first parking ticket.
Oh.
In New York. That's right. I've been so disciplined for years. I mean, I've only had this car for a couple of years, but I had one, 20 years ago for about 5 years. Never got a parking ticket. I got my first the other day. And that's because those fuckers made me move my car because of all the parade shit going on. And so I got my first one, and it's $65. It's worth it. That's all. It's not bad.
That's cheap as hell.
So better you pay that than pay Clubhouse.
I'm not even from NYC, and I've gotten about like 2 or 3 parking tickets there.
Shit.
Yeah, I've been
You don't even want to know how many my husband has gotten. That's why we ain't in New York. Because he won't even give them my money.
I hear it.
He has so many that they fucking took his car. That's how many he has.
Oh, wow. I mean, that's pretty good, Scotty, because sometimes, like, they make up reasons to give you a parking ticket there.
Oh, yeah,
They'll hunt people. I'm sure.
You know what? He used to always get caught up with the meters because, they expired at a certain time. So he used to be doing a job in a school or in a building, and then the fucking shit would expire, and then he could walk out to a fucking ticket.
But they don't text you when you need to 15 minutes before.
Back in the days. I don't know about it. Do they text now?
I don't know. I don't park here.
I was about to say, that's some shit. Okay.
The most thing you do is beat the horn if they about to tow your vehicle.
Oh, God.
Well, so you have apps now, like you scan the QR code.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, we have digital.
Like on your regular street door, or like a parking spot. You know what I mean? Like there's parking lots here that you park at, $5 boom, and then you do that, you get the QR code.
In DC, it varies.
Versus like the meter on the street. You know what I'm saying?
It varies in
I've
DC.
only seen my meters on the streets here.
Okay.
No, there are people who just take the $65 ticket because it's cheaper than parking in the garage. Because the garage around here is about for regular car, not SUV, it's about $600 a month.
Matter of fact, I think we left owing $1,500 to the New York City.
All right. Well.
Yeah, on the what do you call that? The Easy Pass.
Okay, what's your address, Mom?
Yeah, right. On the Easy Pass, I'm serious.
Oh, I believe it.
Yep.
God damn.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to tell y'all how much I got on Easy Passes in New Jersey. And I was like, you know, I ain't paying shit.
Are you going on the GW bridge?
No, you said you going on GW? I'm thinking about Jersey Turnpike.
Oh, yeah.
So question, over here, if you don't pay your Easy Pass,
You don't have to whisper
registry.
it. You don't have to whisper it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm already laying down. I'm tired, guys. You can't get your car registered if you owe money to the Easy Pass. But they don't do that in New York, so that's why my balance was so high, because they keep on letting you drive it around. And just keep cha-ching, collecting.
So if you grow up,
Texas, they don't play that.
if you grow up, and serious question, I've always prefaced that. Serious non-political question. So if you're growing up in New York City, generally speaking, you don't have a vehicle as a family, correct?
Well, my husband has a vehicle. I don't have a vehicle.
It depends what part of the city you are, because if you're from...
Oh, he's talking about in New York?
You wouldn't Manhattan.
No, we had a vehicle in New York.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people have cars, but it's usually not in the densest areas. I mean, yeah, but if you're in like the boroughs, sometimes a little bit further out sometimes, and especially if you need a car to like go get shit, like for your house, then a lot of people have cars and parking on the streets. A lot of people do.
Yeah, you don't need a vehicle. Yeah. My parents, they're 66 years old. They never had a vehicle in their whole life. They don't know how to drive. And they have survived this long, right? They take transportation. My dad actually retired on Thursday, guys. Last Thursday.
Congrats.
Congrats.
Yeah. I was like, finally. He needed to retire. His feet was hurting him.
Oh, you know what?
Was he being difficult? Was he going down easy?
Yeah, he just started buying books from Amazon to read.
Perfect.
Going down easy. What?
Like, was it hard for him to get him to retire? Was he not wanting to? I think, but he had to, is what I'm trying to say. Because my father said he was going to retire 15 years from now. He's driving Uber.
Wait, so I have some stats for you on car ownership in New York, which I think is pretty interesting. In Manhattan, 22% of the households own a car. That's the lowest. And across the entire city, it's 45% own cars. And then, of course, Staten Island has the highest rate because they don't have the public transportation. And that's 83% of Staten Island has car ownership. Bronx is 40, Brooklyn is 44, and Queens is 62%.
I know Queens was going to be up there.
So,
Yeah.
here's a good interesting stat to get. How much does it cost? What's the average cost per borough to park a car?
Well, so it's insane, bro.
It's free. It's free where I am. So you can park on the street for free. They don't even. I don't think in Queens. I don't think anywhere it has like permit parking. You know. So I think you just park on the street. You just gotta move it for street cleaning once or twice a week, depending on where you are. Otherwise, garages range. Well, LA has a permit. No, commercial streets do. But most residential blocks do not have meters, or they'll have meters like at the corner where the businesses may be. But most of the time, they don't have meters. It's just on-street parking. Just park wherever you can find it. In some areas, it's just fucking crazy to try to find parking. Other areas, it's easier, but it's free.
You got a bumper pad on your car, Scotty?
For people. No, my car is like dinged up. I don't even care anymore.
Oh, okay.
You know. Yeah, because if it looks too nice, people are gonna steal it. So. Yo, remember when everybody had that? What is that thing called? The security thing that attaches to the steering wheel?
The club.
That was the best thing to fight with, guys.
Everybody had one.
Yeah, we were in the nightclub and people used to act the fuck up. That's the first thing you used to grab.
Knock them motherfuckers in the head.
You go out to the car. Yep. I've seen a lot of guys go out the club. Mm-hmm.
My nail stylist bought me a gift, y'all. She's so sweet.
Aww.
Aww. Thank you.
What's today, Wednesday? That's why she's outside. She's doing her hair and nails.
I don't know why I thought she does her stuff Thursdays.
No, it's Wednesday. I guess it's like, middle of the week.
I'm Thursday, guys.
Oh yeah, go to get your groceries now, y'all. It's gonna be fucking crazy tomorrow.
Why? What's going on?
4th of July. 4th of July.
Oh, I thought
It's the 3rd of July.
Celebrates 4th of July.
Right. Yeah. Gotta go today.
I mean, it's the 3rd of July tomorrow. So.
I thought we were running out of food or something, that we had to go out there.
No, God forbid.
I know, me too. I'm like, what's going on?
We're all vigilant.
Shit.
Hilarious. I'm just talking about the lines.
Yeah. I seen when we drove up the block, a lot of people took out their American flags in front of their houses. And I was like,
I gave mine away years ago. I gave mine away when Donald Trump first became president.
Did they take out the Trump flag? Because, where was I yesterday? I was somewhere yesterday.
It was just the white homeowners, not the black and Hispanic ones.
I was in Long Island yesterday, and I saw so many damn MAGA flags. I'm like, oh my God, get me the F out of here.
He was in Long Island.
Exactly. It's just such a different world. Like when you go to certain parts of New York, it's like you forget.
No, I'm saying
Long Island.
Or suffix,
Massapequa?
I think that's Suffolk.
You want to hear something funny? I saw a Trump hat next to the dumpster, and it said, Jesus is my savior and Trump is my president. Just like, right next to the dumpster.
Now somebody threw it. So what's up? When is the bill gonna get to the House? On Monday? After the holidays?
It's supposed to be before the 4th of July.
Oh.
Is it gonna pass the House though? I thought when the Republicans were trying to block this shit.
I think they got the numbers, brother, but they're gonna appeal it.
But Lisa Murkowski voted for it in the Senate and then is telling people not to vote for it in the damn House. And I'm like, bitch, what is your malfunction for real?
Just spineless motherfuckers, April. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's getting heat up here for her lying ass shit as usual. Because as a Republican, she couldn't win up here because they're so fucking extreme up here as Republicans, and that's like before Trump. So she runs on like independent or undeclared or some such shit. But in any case, she says a bunch of shit like, oh, this can't go, or yesterday it's like, oh, there's really good stuff for Alaska and named all that off, but the other 49 states are seriously in danger and harm, and I'm like, bitch, what? you just care about Alaska, okay? The rest of the country can go to hell. So there's that. That's what she blackmailed. Basically, she don't care. She says that. I don't know why anybody believes her anymore. She's been saying that since Betsy DeVos when she wasn't going to vote for her, and she did.
And she's a Nepo baby. It's time for her to go.
So, Matt, what do you think about this bill? Since you're a Republican over here, you think it's good? It's going to do good or harm?
why am I fucking walking into a trap every time anybody asks me that question?
He thinks he's going to do harm because he's the one that said that he doesn't want to see the deficit grow. So he definitely thinks it's going to do harm. Ain't that right, Matt? Ain't that right, Matt? Matt, haven't you been arguing with us about the deficit? Hello?
Well, if I was
Matt's phone is broken. That's what.
If I was president for the day in Congress, which thank God I'm not, I would balance the budget next.
No, he didn't ask you about what you would do.
Yeah,
He
Matt,
said
can you answer the question, bro? Damn.
I think it's a step in the right direction when it comes
so he's a big liar.
No, I just...
What about the deficit, Matt? Matt, you said you didn't want your baby girl growing up with that huge ass deficit.
That question's answered two ways. One way, if it was up to me, I would balance the budget next fiscal year.
We didn't ask you about no balance.
Stop. If your question is if I was a senator, I would have voted.
No, Matt, my question was for a fucking citizen, a civilian citizen.
I think it's fantastic.
What do you think of the bill as Republican? It's that simple, man.
It's not like my question answer. I'll answer.
It's actually a white answer, and you are going to defend the white. You're gonna defend the white
Spider-Man, I'd come to your house and wear
you literally contradict yourself time and time again. Every time you do the same thing, you're like, no, I'm not for it. I don't want the deficit to go up. But guess what? Daddy Trump wants it to go up. So now all of a sudden you're for it. I got you. And we like.
It makes the tax cuts permanent.
If it's white, it's all right.
It makes the tax cuts permanent.
It doesn't make all
right. That's huge. That's white. That's big.
Okay, so permanent additional trillions of dollars, right?
What's that again? Go ahead, come back.
Matt, all joking aside, Matt, you're a grown ass man, bro. Say with your chest, because that's what you believe.
Yeah, I believe that the tax cuts.
I'm not gonna cut with your head off. I'm just asking you a simple question, man.
Okay, before I get in the checkout line with the people in it, I'll answer like this. The tax cuts are huge. To extend those tax cuts permanently is gigantic. So for the rest of the bill,
gigantically bad? Like what are you talking about? You're the one who don't want the deficit to go up. You want the deficit to magically go down, and you want to cut taxes. Where do they do that at?
Just because you cut the tax rates, just because you cut the tax rates doesn't mean that you're going to decrease the tax rate. Google the Laffer curve. And read all about the Laffer curve. Laffer. Laffer.
Okay, how about I laugh at your fucking
no, not the Laffer curve.
Because you think there's going to be enough growth in order to offset
without doubt.
Sure.
Yeah.
So Matt, the tax rates are for the rich, right?
Yeah.
I gotta be on pause for about 2 minutes. Hold
on. Exactly.
Imagining this growth coming from, yeah.
That's getting a hard on from other motherfuckers getting the tax rate.
That regular everyday black man who thinks that he's going to be in the 1%, 2% one day because, he's got a muddy backyard that backs up to the border. Hell, I don't know why. Just for any normal day.
Guess what these businesses do when they get money? They cut jobs. They buy back their own stock. They're not going to hire all these people, and there's not going to be all this job growth. It's just greed on top of more.
Taking into consideration that 53% of the people in this country pays 100% of the taxes, people can keep more of their own money to spend it the way they want to versus giving it to the government is a good thing.
No, Matt, you guys crack me up when you say giving it to the government is a good thing. Let me just take a deep breath because I'm just getting in the car.
Breathe.
When do you care about the rest of the country, man? That's what I want.
Just finish my fucking question. Jesus Christ. Okay, so you guys can correct me right now if I'm wrong, can interrupt. But usually taxes are for a reason. Taxes help with societal needs. They help with infrastructure. They help with people who can't take care of themselves. They help with healthcare. They help with schools. They help with so many things for the good, for the common good. You know, these Americans that you always talk about, you care about, and America first, and you be crying tomorrow about the vets when you really don't give a fuck, and then you're gonna be crying the next day about. So you don't see a problem, you have a problem with paying taxes when it comes to being a part of the society and helping to uplift people who are not as wealthy as you and Elon and Trump and you and Trent and all you millionaires. I mean, y'all have a problem with trying to help people who are doing their best but can't get to where you are? And maybe the roads and the hospitals, some people have to go to the ER in a county facility or a clinic and they don't have, insurance or, just little simple shit like that. Bridges, roads, I'm repeating myself. Go ahead.
Having that mentality has $37 trillion in debt.
So what do we do?
And nonprofits, organizations, churches, communities, and families should take on the vast majority of that role.
You motherfucking lying ass.
The government is not my family. The government is not my community. I'm my community.
You ain't.
And we should look at government to solve our problems. We should look at Keystone. We should be able to keep more of our own money. We should be able to keep more of our own money. Put it in the community. And we can all help each other.
Okay, all right. So when they had that song, "We the People," in order to form a more perfect union, they were talking about. They weren't talking about. They were only talking about you. They were talking about you and Eli and Trump and all the rest of people like you, right? You weren't talking about anyone else. Because you said charity. So the poor people have to give to charity to help themselves. Is that what you're saying?
People that have money give to charity, lots of money to charity.
Oh, they do?
Oh, yeah. There's 1,500 food banks. There's 1,500 food banks here in Harris County that help feed the hungry.
So why do you have so many hungry people in your county?
Yeah, they could actually pay working wages, living wages.
You're right. Hey, bro, you're beating me to the fucking...
I'm sorry, Matt, you stirred up with this line.
I've been working with men all day. I'm the only female, and I'm fucking so tired of seeing, I'm so tired of this testosterone and this bullshit Diddy case. Now they were talking about the budget, and here I get in the car and the same motherfucking men.
All right, I'm staying on mute. I'm staying on mute. Same maggots, Lisa.
Same ones.
But man, real all joke aside though, man. Like it's crazy to me, and I'm not even trying to come at you, bro. But it's crazy to me how you proclaim and you like people like you. Infinity profess to be people of God, but so concerned about helping other people.
Yeah, Calgary's just not...
Hold on. So concerned about somebody getting a meal because they're unable to afford it. Who gives a fuck why they're not able to afford it? Like, don't think that one day, God forbid, you cannot be in that same situation. Just because you see somebody in the street who's homeless doesn't mean they will fucking crackhead.
He done been in it, Haitian.
Crazy, man. This shit is crazy.
He puts his quarters in the plate when it comes around on Sunday.
And if you're an elected official, Matt, right? You saying the government shouldn't be in people's business, basically. If you're an elected official, your job is to serve the people. So if your constituents are coming to you and they have an issue within your community, what are you supposed to do? Tell them to go wait for a nonprofit? Food banks are running out of fucking food. So I don't even know what you're talking about.
They're talking about...
You say this shit, man, like the shit you say sometimes, man, like, real talk, joking aside, you really need to look deep within yourself, bro. I really don't understand.
He doesn't care. Doesn't include the homeless and the poor and the downtrodden and hungry kids.
And it's been like that since this country started. The soup lines, we already now I'm about to say, maybe some of you guys do remember, but the soup lines, that's the whole reason that what's the one who started welfare? Was it Roosevelt?
We got some real slow people in the chat too. Daniel's saying food banks running out. Yeah, they running out of fucking food.
Yeah, Daniel, because I'm in there every day.
If you were out in your community and did this in your community, you would know that most food banks are fucking running out of food. And that's been going on for a while now.
Yes. Instead of giving you enough, like, okay, the main things, carrots that are misshapen, potatoes that have two heads, all that kind of shit, you know, that farmers literally give away or go away. That's what the food banks are. This is no luxury fucking Mr. Chow where they go and get nice food. These people are getting food just to eat, just to survive. The shit that you would pick up in Whole Foods, yeah, that with a dent in it. The shit that you go, oh, look at this potato. It's not shaped the way I like it round. You know, they really can't sell them to these spoiled motherfucking Americans. They really have to send them and put them in bins and send them to food banks. So,
and does Daniel realize that the farmers are plowing over their crops because they don't have anybody to pick the damn food? So they're literally plowing their crops under.
I don't think he realizes it's all federal funding to a lot of these food banks.
yeah, people are, they don't know what hunger is, and I think some of these people are lying. I think these people are lying, but then I think, no, they're not lying, because the United States is the fattest country in the world compared to, well, no, they said Samoa. I take that back. So anyway, just fucking fat, and they don't understand that some people in this country that are actually hungry. Because you go everywhere and everybody's overweight, so you're thinking we all live in large and shit. But it's the kind of food that we eat here as well that makes us obese. But I'm just saying this, when I hear people argue about food, to me, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you, Daniel, Matt, but I am. You're the lowest of the low. Because any time you don't think it's okay for everybody to eat, just food, niggas, food. Nobody's asking for no new car. Nobody's asking for no fucking champagne. People are asking for food, and then you want to argue that point down. It's just the sickest thing I've ever seen.
When folks get hungry and they really broke, rob them at
Let me tell you, I know that Matt has got tens of thousands from the government, and probably Daniel too. It's okay when their situations get them tens of thousands of dollars and shit forgiven, but any of the rest of us, fuck off and get out of here. You care about the children in the womb. You don't care about them when they're born, because Trump already froze $6 billion. I had to throw a link in the chat because somebody's like, oh, I think it's $7 million. No, it's $6 billion for summer programs, for stuff like Boys and Girls Club, to help kids have a safe place during the summertime while their parents are at work, and after school programs and food during the summer. So, you know, fuck them kids. Y'all stop lying. Stop getting up on a podium about a woman having an abortion, because you don't give a damn about the children here, and you ain't fed none, and you don't care, and that's it. Stop proclaiming Christianity and all that bullshit, because your actions speak for you.
But April, they don't
want them to have an abortion, but they don't care if they starve to death.
Daniel, come up on the stage and stop being a fucking chat warrior.
But they voted for this because the amount of rural hospitals that will close based on the cut so far is predominantly going to affect Trump's voting base.
Good.
So they voted for this. So
let them get sick.
Let them eat cake.
Let them eat cake.
Oh, yeah,
you said the same thing I'm thinking.
The history books are going to tell a fucking brutal story how dumb these people were, man.
Yep. I was listening to this guy who was talking about, he goes, when you look back, this Harvard professor was talking about men between 18 and 24 who voted for Trump have regretted it, because they said they were too young to remember COVID fully, So they thought they were voting for a guy because of his machismo. Didn't realize that all his policies are detrimental to them now. Because they had no idea they never listened to him based on a policy-oriented interest. It was just the fact that it was vibes. Trump showed up on Twitch. Trump showed up here. He showed up on Joe Rogan. But it was never policy conversations. So they never went and looked at his policy. They never went and looked at Project 2025 because they're like, nah, that's fake. Y'all just making this up. Now they're saying, holy fuck, we fucked up. And imagine some of the voters are actually saying, I don't think I'll ever vote again because the fact is that you cannot trust politicians. No, you guys trusted a guy who was the most lying politician in history, 30-something thousand lies during his first term, and you expect he to tell the truth now during his second term? You guys voted.
Matt left. He doesn't want to hear about it. He gets his government money and drives on like he deserves all.
And I think a lot of these politicians, we so busy talking about that motherfucking Diddy. I thought I was going to have to stab somebody today. I'm so sick of men, and every time y'all get a fucking win over abusing some woman, it's like it's the 4th of fucking July already. I'm like, I literally got dizzy because I wanted to stab somebody to death. It's like, I'm so sick of this shit right here.
Men are the ones who slap their girlfriends and mamas and sisters and daughters around and, abuse them and do other things to them. That's the kind that's happy today, honey. That's outing themselves.
The whole clubhouse, that's all people are talking about. And I'm thinking, so I tried to change the subject and talk about the bill. And this, you dealing with people who today got enough money that don't give a fuck. So I even got worse. I got madder. I was like, what? I got nothing to talk about today. This is a bad day for me to talk. But the bill is more important. We should have 14 rooms on this bill because these people who are voting for this bill, and I saw Hakeem come on and talk about it, and then I saw the one with the little glasses from New York talk about it. They're going to get fired. If you guys don't vote these motherfuckers out of office, you can continue to ask to get it, to get what you asked for. All of them should lose their fucking jobs. Seriously. This bill is, can we do line by line? I mean, I'm not home yet, but I just want to pull it up. And there's another new website, if you guys didn't know about it, I can't really tell you what it is, I have to look at my notes, that follows Project 2025 to see how much of this administration has accomplished from that project. And I'll give it to everybody as soon as I get a chance to
they're
go
like
over it.
45 or 49% through with their little plans, right? Something
Crazy.
in there.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. So we're arguing about
it's just a talking point by the Dems. This is how stupid. And I have come to the reason. I've come to the conclusion, that because we hear these MAGAs who stay on stage and talk, who say, oh, I didn't know that, I haven't heard about that, or they read it and send us a link, and the link never says what they say it says. I think they have a problem with reading comprehension and logic. I think that those are the things that are the hallmarks of MAGA.
I know Matt. April, you're so right. I know Matt does, based on some statements he's said, and he swear he read it. Maybe he just didn't comprehend.
He got passed through school. They get passed through school because, no child left behind. You know what I'm saying?
No, and I think a lot of these MAGA people, at least on Clubhouse, because that's my sample size, and a few people, these men who are black MAGAs, just look at them. Just take time and look at, and white ones too, they want to be so bad, they want to be in the 1%. They actually might even think they're in the 1% because they got an LLC. But they want to be in the 1%. That was a good one, right? Girl, when I first came in, I didn't even know what what that was. So I came to Clubhouse, and then every black man on here said they got an LLC. And then the next lesson I learned that every black man on here is a Bitcoinaire. You know, they got all their millions from Bitcoin. They all trade, and they don't even know where the fucking stock market is located. It's like, no, it's not in Philadelphia. But it's just really weird. I mean, but I'm learning a lot. But I think most of these men, I can't really feel bad that they want to aspire to be at the 1%, but they don't have the mental meat to be able to feed somebody to feed off of them for them to get to that. They're not very bright, but they just want to assimilate into that level. And let's not be mad at them, but they're dumb as fuck. So that's okay.
Man, fuck them, Lisa. Let's talk about the rural hospitals that become.
They use all the inspired antibiotics that we have in the West Coast, East Coast.
They're gonna need the medicine that we ground up and send to Russia whenever we can to help them out. They're gonna need it, and I'll be happy for them to take it.
So listen, a couple of years ago, they went to Republicans and tell them, hey, in rural areas in America, for somebody to go to a hospital, majority of people have to drive 100 miles. This particular bill would take enough money away from people where those people would now have to drive 3 hours to get to a hospital.
Just die. What bother?
Exactly. If you don't have insurance, when you get out of helicopter and taking you for an emergency, you're gonna die en route.
You're gonna die.
Crazy.
Sepsis can go up. They're gonna die. And most of those people who live in those rural people are MAGA. They still. Let me try not to call them names, okay? Most of them are gonna be affected are MAGA. They're the ones who live in these rural areas, but they say that's what they voted for.
Well, the biggest takeaway from this election is Cubans realizing that they're not white. I swear. If you lived in Miami, you know what I'm talking about. Cubans finally realized the white people don't view them as white people. And that's a lesson learned.
I think somebody may do a Hail Mary for them. Because these Republicans down here, they still not going against Trump. They won't call him out. They're asking for car votes. So I won't be surprised if DeSantis or Trump don't do a car vote like how they do it for the hospitality workers and the farm workers.
Oh, Trump said them people, you know, that is detained or held up. Maybe the ones even, I don't know about them people down in Alligator Alcatraz, but which is flooding right now, by the way, and that's a feature. You know, they don't consider that a problem. But he say they're gonna have responsible farmers who are gonna be responsible for these people, overseeing these people, right, to make them work on the farms. Hello.
Who are we talking about?
Huh? Overseers, Lisa, whip crackers.
Wait, alligator Alcatraz?
I don't know. It could be any of them.
Girl, that's indentured labor. That sounds like indentured labor, slavery to me.
It's exactly what it is. And the Americans who were born here who are bad. They're just bad. They've been bad for years. It makes them get good on the farm. Americans. Y'all fixing to get locked up. They're going to get locked up, and a lot of them's going to be back right now because they got debts they ain't paid. They got student
child support.
Tried to pay child support they ain't never paid.
They gonna get them child support.
They're working all kinds of shit they done misdemeanors and shit. Matt, you better be clearing up your shit before they get you.
Have you ever mentioned child support or alimony to a mother? They lose it. All of them have a bad degree.
Oh, that's right.
Alimony and divorce all the fucking time.
It's gonna be fun. Round the their wives gonna be on TikTok, Lisa, crying about that. I didn't think he meant he's gonna take my husband. Joe Bob, he just had like 3 domestic assaults, but I take him back every time.
Well, you know what? I would be celebrating. Come get these bitches. You know what I mean? If it was mine, I'd be like, oh yeah.
You know, but you got to put on a show. You got to put on a show.
Well, okay. All right, I can do that. Come get them. Yeah, didn't know they were gonna take them, but since you got them, oh well.
Did you see Trump said, and if they try to escape, the alligator's gonna get them? This man is sick.
Oh yeah.
The alligators with the alligator that eats batteries.
Right.
But the one that eats batteries.
No, there are alligators in Alligator Alley. That's on I-75. There are definitely alligators there in the swampland.
It's alligators in Disney, honey. These people is it's over.
But didn't Trump say there was an alligator that ate a battery? One of his
He could have. Christy Nome said they had a cannibal on the flight that ate himself. So, that was a long ass flight.
So April, did you guys see the interview where Trump was at Alcatraz, Gator Alcatraz, where they asked him the question of how long does he expect the detainees to be held there? Trump answered, well, you know, I love Florida, and I've been in Florida a long time. I spent a lot of taxes in Florida. Guess what?
They gonna be
Florida doesn't even charge income taxes. Florida doesn't even charge income tax. I don't know what Trump was. Nobody knew what Trump was talking about.
He didn't understand the question, but they gonna be there.
Gambling on like a crazy 79-year-old man.
They gonna be there till hell freezes over.
But his attention was on the alligators. He wasn't paying y'all none attention. He was
loved them
alligators.
He loved having them alligators out.
Hey,
What's the symbolism?
say what you want about Biden.
What's the symbolism of gators?
He called Biden a son of a bitch. Did y'all hear that? Yeah, that's an interview. He said, yeah, Biden wanted to put me in one of these things, but then he might have son of a bitch. You
Get out of here! How many curse words has he said? Okay, so I'm gonna have to tell everybody. Democrats are always trying to look like you're so prim and proper. I want somebody who uses the F word. I want the S word. I want everything when you're running for president. It's like
I can't pay right now, Lisa.
Trump is getting away with all kind of shit that Obama could have never done. A motherfucking plane, side deals, opening up Alcatraz in San Francisco, now opening up one in Florida, selling 32 counts, a felony, selling Bibles, his hand of a woman. Let's put that under Obama's name and see how long that nigga would have been in office.
Selling cell phones. I mean, come on now. This guy's selling everything.
15 goddamn minutes.
Well, Obama did call Kanye West a jackass. He
more intense.
You know, that's like
he wore a tan suit. He liked mustard. Michelle showed her shoulders. She tried to make your children eat healthier. You know, dear God.
Yeah, they smiled.
And can play basketball.
They smiled at each other. Don't forget, they smiled at each other
they
in
held
public.
Hands.
In public.
They should have put out a porn video.
So Matt, when are you getting your Trump phone?
He already got one. He was the first one to get one.
He got a gold-plated one?
And it
y'all, I forgot one more thing before you guys get on Matt. Y'all remember when they tried to make Obama gay? They did him.
They're still trying.
Remember that? There were 20 rooms.
And Michelle's trans, or a man. That's the thing they do now.
There's a woman right now that's making married man gay.
I'm gonna get my Trump phone. I don't know. It depends.
You gotta buy white some perfume, some Trump perfume.
Make sure you get your Cybertruck too.
Yeah, okay. No, I have no car note, and I will never have a car note again.
Hey Matt, you gotta buy wifey some Trump perfume.
Do they make Trump perfume?
I heard it.
They do. They do. They got it for men and for women, so you can get the men's one.
They say he's making Trump ED pills too.
Yeah. Oh, really? Now that, I mean, sign me up on that one.
Oh,
Well,
Matt
you
already,
can,
listen, Haitian, Matt already gets hard when he thinks about Trump.
I wish.
That wasn't pleasant. That's the only way to get his shit up, April.
But listen, we're
He
so
tells his
people don't
wife, talk to
realize.
me like Trump would.
People don't realize all the people. I have a friend of mine. He was like, he's a MAGA. He was like, yeah, man, no tax on overtime. I was like, you know they're gonna cap that shit up to an amount where it won't fucking affect you. And he goes, no, it's fool. All my overtime won't be taxed. That's what Trump said. So today I copied and sent him the language on the no tax on overtime in the Republican bill, in the Senate bill, and he goes, that's fucked up. They capped that shit at 12,000.
Yeah,
I was like, I told your ass that.
You know these
it
dumb niggas.
expires.
They don't know about taxes. Come on now.
And it expires in, yeah, it expires in 2 years.
Yeah. It expires 3 years, but the billionaire,
28, yeah.
yeah, but the billionaire tax breaks don't expire.
Don't expire, yep. I'm not lying. I literally got a tax break from Trump's bill because, yeah, my family did. I'm not lying. But the problem is that the poor people didn't really get a tax break. They actually pay more taxes now. And they voted for Trump, which just, it just blows my mind.
They put so many requirements on the Medicaid or what have you. Most people are gonna just give up and just don't get the insurance, and that's what they're counting on.
You have to work 20 hours a week. If you're younger than 65 and your kids are over 14 or 15.
No, the kids are over 7.
I saw 8-7 if you're not married, if they don't count as a dependent if you're 8-7.
And then the income, the daycare that they were using, those checks they were getting, that counts as income. So a lot of them may not be eligible for these programs anymore.
Wait, so people that are disabled, right? That let's say they're on food stamps or whatever assistance. So you say they have to work 20 hours a week, Matt?
They already work. They already work. My friend who worked for me and passed away like a year later, she was already working at Walmart as many hours as she could get. And she was on disability, and she had all kinds of assistance. Haitian people who get that, and she wasn't, like, she could get around and stuff, right? I'm not saying that she was disabled in a wheelchair or anything. But there's people with serious health issues, right? She almost died twice as a child from a disease that she had her entire life. And she was working. And at Walmart, they wanted her to lift those big, the big water bottles that you put back in the things at the offices. She can't do that. She couldn't do that. So she came to work for me before she passed away. And these stupid people, they don't want to be called maggots and all this stuff. I'll just say the stupid people don't know about people who work and are on Medicaid because they're too poor, because they're working for multi-million-dollar companies like Walmart, who we subsidize their employees by providing SNAP and all these benefits, but you're okay with that. The corporate motherfucking welfare, you're fine with that. You're fine with it because all of us, we should have to just feed each other, because that's the Christian way. I'm so sick of this shit.
So April, but my question though is like, say the ones who are not working, right, and they're disabled. So is it now mandatory that they have to work?
I think they're excluded, but I don't know what that determination will be now, Haitian. Will there be a new determination criteria, right, that they have to meet? So I haven't looked that far into it, but that would be a concern.
You already know the answer.
Yeah, you got to be visually disabled in order for you to get any benefits now.
Yep.
Okay, my people who are in Telegram, look at that picture of the trauma that we had to do.
Yeah, I just looked at it right now, Lisa.
And you see that? And
Yeah, I
that
was like,
person
what the
had
fuck?
no insurance. So meaning, not having to, I don't want to have insurance conversation. What I'm saying to you is we're going to go broke. We're going to go broke. The hospitals are going to go
Nation, I ain't even get a trigger warning. I went to go check out Telegram. I said, what the fuck?
I couldn't believe it, because when you're in the middle of it, you can't believe it, right? I took that fucking picture because that person survived. But I'm just saying, that's money. That is money. That's my world.
My
And
God,
that's
Lisa.
money. So just imagine how we are going to go the fuck broke.
The amount of blood they went through, the amount of
Dr. Goddard, I sent you the picture in your bag.
and the
It looked like a
people
Diddy
involved
party
in the
after party.
care.
Send it to me, Mel.
This is every major and sometimes small hospitals across America, especially trauma centers. As Lisa said, these people gonna have, hello, you gonna die.
This is
You're gonna
one
die.
After the Diddy party.
One case,
No, I remember
go
this.
look at
I saw
it.
this before.
Before you check it out.
One
I saw
case.
this before.
This is crazy. Now this was from last night. This is one case.
Oh no.
That shit was a mess. So who has to clean that shit up? And
It wasn't me. The person whose legs are sitting down right there is one of the residents, and he goes, I can't believe this just happened. I said, you look at this shit. I'm getting ready to get out of here.
Did they make it? There's plenty of times that these.
Yes, that person did.
This effort is given. There's many times
And they
this
don't
effort
make
is
it.
given, and people do not make it. It's hell.
And where do you guys think that money goes? The hospital has to eat it like a prime rib.
Hey, Lisa, is that an ED OR?
This is no. This is an OR from a level 1.
Oh, damn. What the hell?
The patient made it upstairs.
Dang. Oh, my God.
It's a very nice hospital because you can see all the equipment is brand new. You can see our suction thing sitting over there. Everything in there is brand new, state of the art. But the thing about it was that now the patient's going to the ICU. So the money, the damn birth teller, you know what I'm saying? So Trump, they don't want you guys to survive shit like this.
No.
So stop you at the ED, in the emergency department, let your motherfucking ass die, and then that's it. You know, they're not worried about the way this country, the way we treat each other, or we should be treating each other, or whatever. All that's over. We go in the third world, for real.
That's why I put
Hey,
the
listen
whole
up.
world as a
But
topic.
the bill, did you guys realize the bill is going to make the ACA more difficult for people to get because they're going to raise some of the eligibility criteria?
Yeah, was the bribery, was it presented to the jury, even though it was happening to them? So it was happening to them and it was presented to them. Is that a fact?
It was presented to them by way of the witnesses, like literally the guard that went to the door, the hotel employee, I should say, that went to the door and that saw everything. He is the one that was bribed, and he's the one that did. He was like, I know you want to do the right thing. He kept calling it his angel.
Wait.
I think that he was like in his 20s right now, like he was young. But he is the one who initiated the bribe, and he's the one that got the $100,000.
Yeah, but remember they also split that $100,000 between two other employees.
No. I'm not talking about that bribery. Yes. That I don't
Oh, which one are you talking about?
I'm talking about, like, from what I heard, there was a phone call to a jury member or something like that.
No, it was a
text.
text.
A text message?
It was a random text, but nobody could nobody could
prove it was coming from Diddy.
Okay, got you. I mean, well, yeah, when you see texts like, oh, are you juror number 6? Yeah, homie, like, who would text that? It wouldn't be the prosecutor. I'm sorry, like, what? What's going on right now? So, all right, but, at the end of the day, there was obvious bribery happening within the case and possibly to the jurors. And if they didn't consider that, like, damn, either they just turned their brains off or they did get bribed and they wanted to keep their mouth shut and they collected that check. Maybe that's what happened.
Now, here's something for Matt. And his peeps. White people are very, very upset, apparently, that Diddy did not get RICO. I'm crying. I mean, the nerve, right? Like, you literally, you voted for a president that has so many charges, like all this, and you mad about Diddy not getting RICO? Really?
Palestine.
I mean,
talking about RICO.
They should really be glad that Trump never got a RICO case, because he could easily get a RICO case. I'm just keeping it real. If you look at some of those charges, I'm like, wait up, you adding up, that could be RICO. Damn it, he's on the phone. I never got a chance to say that thing that I wanted to say.
That's what Matt does, so he won't face accountability.
Well, hopefully everybody's changing their topics now. Instead of it saying that Diddy will be free today, they could change their topics in their rooms.
So you know it's
They will
always
literally
men
pray for
running
Diddy
these
to walk.
fucking rooms. Yep.
Yes.
That is some sick shit.
Listen, they were all saying he's gonna walk out of there, he's gonna put both of his fists up in the air.
But weren't they doing baby oil? Somebody said that they were pouring baby oil on each other
There was
outside.
a dude outside dancing with no shirt on, putting baby oil on his body. Yep.
Weird.
And he needs to go to jail too.
And it was packed. It was crowded outside.
Exactly. Snatch his ass up.
Yeah.
So when do you guys think they're going to sentence him?
I don't know, because you know what?
How long do they have him? Can he appeal?
Can he appeal
Yeah,
what? To
well,
get
yes,
released?
he can appeal after he's sentenced.
Yeah, after he's sentenced. I love it. Oh, thank you, Judge. At least that much. Now, this and Mel, this and
You could get
everybody.
pardoned too, of course, ML. And yeah.
Oh yeah, because
But this gives him the opportunity to get black dye for his hair.
Yes, he's on federal.
Oh damn, he going Trump gonna pardon him.
He's gonna give $1 million
It's
to
fine.
Trump.
It's fine, because you know what? Diddy had never done Diddy had never been held accountable a day in his life. He never did a single day in jail until this came up. So at least he got a little taste of something, no matter what.
Yeah, he got to sit down. He got to sit down and eat some crappy food and
exactly
not dye his hair. And not dye his hair. And he had to take a piss and a shit in a toilet with no covering.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, just kill me now. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah. That metal toilet, I'm sure, is really low with no toilet seat cover. And
is that the toilet with the sink built on it? Oh, goddamn.
You painted a picture with skinny body. But you know what's wild? I don't think Trump's gonna pardon him yet. If Trump's gonna pardon him, Trump's gonna be one of those pardons when Trump's about to leave office.
Yes, yep. You're right about that.
Trump has already said that he knows Diddy. Because Trump used to go to all Diddy parties. So,
but I don't know, ML, because my theory was that Trump could easily pardon him, and the reason why he would want to do it is because he's getting ready to go after Black Americans and Black men in particular. So, you know, he was just saying at one of his most recent press conferences, he's like, you know, no, the deportations are so important. But, you know, there's a lot of people that have been here, that are born here, been here a long time, been here, you know, who are here from here. And they're committing a lot of crimes as well. So, you know, maybe they should also be deported, you know. So, like, he's kind of a natural born.
No, but didn't the judge already say, the judges already say that's illegal? They can't deport a person who was born here. Like, what the hell? We're supposed to deport them to?
Under the guise of crime, there's a lot of leeway, though. You know, under the guise of crime.
Yeah, but for you to deport somebody, a country has to be willing to take that person.
Yeah.
So who's gonna take him?
Yeah, and not only that, but I'm gonna be honest, that will be uprising, because first of all, you already got people uprising, right? When they got people who are possibly from other countries being deported, right? Can you imagine if homie, or you know, it doesn't even matter what their race is, but if they're like, oh well, we're gonna deport your brother because you know he has a series of crimes. You think people are standing for that shit? Hell no, that's not happening.
I'll be right back. I'm going to troll Plan B just one more time.
But how come Samage ain't making rumors about this big, beautiful bill and talking about how great it is?
Because they know it's bullshit.
They don't care about the big, beautiful bill because they're millionaires and they earn six figures. So they don't care. And even the regular ones.
I'm just sitting in my office, watching y'all, listening to y'all. Goddamn.
You know, it's funny. I remember that Good always used to call Matt racist man. It used to be so funny.
Oh, he left it.
What up, Scotty?
Yo.
Who's that, Trump and Mephisto? Scotty?
Who?
Trump and Mephisto in your picture? I can't tell.
Oh, my PTR. Oh, no, that is the cover of a Pink Floyd album.
Wait, it is? What Pink Floyd album was that?
Wish you were here. It symbolizes the regular man doing a deal with a businessman, but at the same time destroying himself.
Got you. Damn it, I got
So how many signed the petition for Trump to deport Musk?
I mean, at this point, I don't even care. I'm just.
But funny thing, you know when we used to say that it's just a matter of time that those two will fall out, and it's gonna be quick. And we were so right because we know Trump, and apparently it's like Musk. If you're that iota of a genius, you should have known that she was coming too.
Yeah, somebody made a comment. That's a great idea. We should petition to deport Melania. Can you imagine? What would Trump say? Whoa, wait, you don't want to meet our petition because it's your wife? Well, that's not fair.
And although she came to the country and she worked when she was on a tourist visa, so she did commit a crime before she got her Einstein visa.
That's a fact.
You know, Diddy's judge is younger than him. He's only 46 years old.
So, Mel, I've come to the realization that most people are now younger than me. when it used to be the other way around. Most people especially patients that I deal with, right? That all the patients I would deal with were all older than me, or majority were older than me. And now I'm realizing that all professionals are younger than me, and that shit feels weird, yo.
Y'all got the date? It's July 8th.
July 8th is what?
July 8th is when the sentence, yeah.
I thought it was October.
No, they wouldn't make that long.
Quick, bro.
But that's good. I mean, I'm saying it for him. I think if I was the defense, I would choose the fastest date because then that gives me the opportunity for appeal. So he's lucky that it's next week.
It's good for us. It's good for us too, so we can get this whole fucking thing over with.
Right. But listen,
they're not going to sentence him to October 3rd.
Well, that's probably when he got to show up. But if he's filing an appeal,
So what did
does he get the same judge, or it's a whole different?
Yeah, it's
Of
the
course,
same
it's the
judge.
same judge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like the death penalty.
It says right here, Sean Diddy Combs' next court date is scheduled for October 3rd at 10 in the morning for sentencing.
Yo, I'll be like, yo, judge, sentence me right now.
It's July 8th.
Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, so what is the July 8th date?
I don't know.
This is why I shouldn't be hopping from room to room. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is
They were
reported.
reading from it. They were reading.
This is reported from CNN.
Yeah. No, I accept it. I just the homie was reading from something.
Hold on. The judge proposed to this date and is willing to adjust it if the defense requests an earlier date.
Yeah.
Maybe they requested an earlier date. I don't know.
Yeah. Let me look.
Yeah, if they were smart, they would do that. Because 3 months down the line, I'm realizing that is standard for cases of this nature.
It's all right. He's gonna be a year, so then he'll be able to scratch off a year off his sentence.
But though he's gonna waste time witness tampering, Mel, we gotta let him out so he could get at these witnesses.
Oh shit.
It's so sad. This is so sad. Wait, I'm looking right now.
It always makes
Doesn't
me
he
wonder.
have state charges anywhere, y'all?
Nah.
No?
Not that I know of.
Based on the provided information, Sean Combs does not have court. You see, he does not have court on July 8th. It says he does not have a court date scheduled for July 8th.
Oh, okay. No, so this is what happened. Okay. Got it. Okay. Wait. Let me go down. I'll go down the list. 4:59 p.m. In the courtroom, Combs' lawyers, Brian Steele and Jason Driscoll, are patting each other on the back. Agnifilio is in the holding cell with Combs. His family is in the second row of the gallery. 5:04. Combs' lawyers, Agnifilio.
Why are they patting each other in the back? He is going to jail, isn't he?
Yeah, but it's considered a huge victory to not have Rico. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was the judges that was patting on the back of the other judge, right? I mean, the other lawyer, I'm sorry.
Yeah, the lawyer.
How old is Combs? Is he 60 yet?
56.
Yeah.
Okay, so 20 years onto that.
So he'll be spending his 57th birthday behind bars.
Good.
But
Happy
he'll be
birthday,
spending, the minimum is 10 years, or is it 20 years per count?
No, it's a maximum of 10 per count. Yeah.
So that's 20.
No. Can he serve both at the same time?
Yeah,
It's the judge
usually
first.
they usually do.
It's up to the judge.
True. But yeah, but they usually give them, what do they call it? Consecutive sentencing. So yeah.
They may be separate. They may be separate and smaller. But we have to keep in mind this. In spite of how much Diddy has gotten away with, this is his only charge. He's a first-time offender.
Yeah, but there's going to be a lot of people writing letters to the judge. I feel like the 2 letters that were just written from Cassie and Silas.
Yes, I'm
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me.
Yep.
I agree. Well, okay, so let me do the update, y'all.
What's too much?
5:04 Combs' lawyers.
There's something an update.
Yeah.
Okay.
His lawyers emerged from the holding cell, still waiting for Sean Combs to be brought to the courtroom by U.S. Marshals. Sean Combs has been brought in, sits next to Tenny Garagos reading. Agnifilio walks over to the lectern, then back over to his seat. Prosecutors are in place at the front table waiting on Judge Supermanian. Judge, I've read the parties' submissions and others. The jury convicted the defendant of counts 3 and 5. For the following reasons, the bail is denied. Judge, even if the defendant was solely required to show that he is not a danger to the community, he could not meet that burden. Prior to trial, the court denied bail and sees no reason to reverse that now. The defense conceded the defendant's violence. His violence is depicted in the video of Cassie Ventura. The defense admitted this is a terrible moment. Domestic violence is the issue, is what she said. It wasn't only that. There was the London hotel incident. There was violence after the searches in this case. As to Jane, there was June 2024, after the searches of Combs's residences. This evidences a disregard for the law and a propensity for violence. So the court takes no position on what it will consider as sentencing, nor what sentence it will impose. But here, the burden is on him and he cannot carry it. The defense argues the guideline starts at 21 months. The U.S. says 51 months. He's done 10 months. I set sentencing for Friday, October 3rd at 10 a.m. I am willing to expedite it. Combs Agnophilia, we would like it expedited. Judge, we will need an expedited pre-sentencing report from probation, but I will be available anytime. Judge, there is a great divide on the sentencing guideline. I see that Ms. Comey has her statute book open. Comey, the rule required the preparation of a report, absent a reasoned waiver. Probation may be able to expedite. Judge, update me by July 8th at noon. That's where July 8th comes in. Then the judge says, and we'll hold a hearing on the afternoon of July 8th. Combs Agnophilia, Your Honor has a lot of information from presiding over the trial. We want the sentencing as soon as possible. Other Mann Act cases, there's nothing remotely similar to this. The cases we reviewed involved the defendants making money, millions, or involved minors. That's different. Here are the facts. From our letter, see United States versus Dillon. And then Inner City Press wrote, actually, it's the United States versus Dillon Jordan. I cover it here, blah, blah, blah. Agnophilia. Then there was the Emperor's Club case of the former governor of New York. Ooh, the shade. We understand this is moving quickly. The issue for us, if we'd had more time, we could have shown extraordinary circumstances. The judge says, you concede violence in your closing. Whether that's relevant to sentencing is not for today, but it can be considered on a bail application. Agnophilia, in June 2024, there's an argument that Mr. Combs was defending himself. So that was literally 5 minutes. Wait, that was 5 minutes ago. So there's going to be some more updates. Those are the latest.
See, didn't I tell you about that violence earlier?
Yeah. And
Yep.
the defense conceded to it twice, and the judge had heard everything. I really, you know what? I said he wasn't going to walk free. I said he wasn't going to leave the courtroom a free man. So those two, I was right. I didn't know too much about charges, and I really don't care. I was like, as long as he goes to jail, this is the perfect person for jail. So my thing is, the judges heard all this violence. The defense conceded to violence. It conceded. So why would I be lenient on sentencing this way? He's a violent person. He needs to go and sit down for a little while.
Yeah, that's because Lisa, they're trying to have their cake and eat it too. So the reason why they conceded the violence, this is just my theory, but you'll see defense like this a lot, is because if they didn't, right, then you could establish pattern. And it's so easy to do it from the history of this defendant of pattern of violence. And so even if you're talking about situations that are outside of a preview of limitation, right, you can still say, well, he has a pattern of this type of behavior, right, and it'll fit into the case. And now when you go to the actual 10-year time, you could say, well, his past shows what he's done within this window of time. So like they had to, because they would have been screwed. They would have tried to defend that shit, and they don't want to do that. So that's why they conceded to it. Now here's the crazy thing: they're trying to have their cake and eat it too by saying, well, you know, we conceded to that, and it's true, but don't hold that against him. You know, let him go, let him go. Let's get this sentencing going, and let's give him some time served. They're trying to have the cake eat too. This shit is hilarious. Everything that who read that?
The goddess.
Dr. Goddess, when you read that, I'm like, yeah, I love this. I love this. This judge is not dumb, and I'm glad this judge.
Yeah, they're teasing the defense on Twitter because they were like, you are the one that asked for an expedited trial. So that's what you got, you know, like if you, the judge is saying, like, I guess they didn't think that there was going to be any guilty, you know, any guilty findings, you know what I mean? So if they thought that there would be, they would have prepared in advance, you know, to show, I forget the extraordinary cases that they're talking about.
Well, they should have had that letter. They should have had that done in advance.
Right. That's why they're being teased on.
Like,
Twitter.
you got,
like, you wanted to expedite the trial. You had plenty of time to prepare.
Yeah, you got 8 attorneys that he hired. Okay, you knew that this could have been a partial or whatever was gonna happen. You knew that since yesterday, right? Because we have 4 counts in yesterday. So you should have had your shit done right. Like, what the hell?
What the hell?
Mind you, this is the 4th time he gets bail denied, and it's not even been a year. And this is his 4th bail denied.
Well, no, you know they.
But this is the 2nd time it's been denied by this judge. Because you remember the other 2 were by 2 other ones. Because you remember they changed the judge like 3 times?
Oh, wait, they did? I didn't know that.
Yes. The judge that gave him denial was one guy. Then they gave him another judge. It was denied from another guy. And then finally this guy came on. And then this is his 2nd denial with this judge.
They all see the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, for somebody like Holmes, I could see why they want to expedite a trial, because if you look at the R. Kelly case and how long that shit stretched out, no, you don't want to be Sean Holmes and stretch that shit out for that long and sitting in.
Yeah, but it was also
cells.
COVID for It was COVID for.
Well, yeah, but that's my point. Like it's just terrible to be that person of that status and sitting in holding cell for years like that. Nah, expedite that shit. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen.
So sad.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. It's
so sad for the bologna sandwiches and the honey buns.
Just because this dude
and the cup of noodle soup.
Get some of those crackers and make them peanut butter things, y'all.
With some fruit punch with no sugar.
Yeah, and make them
about to make his birthday cake inside of a Ziploc bag.
Get creative.
About to mix that shit up.
You know what? He's a fucking man. He made a fucking man mistake. Human mistake. Why are we caring? I don't even give a damn if he gets the black dye for his fucking hair, if he gotta stay in the fucking basement with one light hanging. He's Diddy, so what? Was he okay, the school. What has Diddy done for us to be having 21 rooms and 200 hours about this nigga? When we saw the first violation of what he did to another human being, that should have been it. It should have been it. But we can't. We are so caught up on this one nigga that got money, that did a whole bunch of other dumb shit. And we can't even just say, fuck him. Who cares?
Dr. Goddess, you should have bet those people. You should have bet the people in Plan B that he wasn't coming out today, so you could get some money.
The
way they were going, he coming out today. He coming out today.
And wait, so Bullis
was
in there. Bullis was in there and was like, "Where's Kalisha?" Wait, he was like, "Where's Kalisha? Where's Dr. Goddess? Where they at? Let's put them on trial." Because they was over there.
You know they don't know the law. You know they don't know the law.
They don't have
I said,
forget about the law. Forget about the law.
Right there, Dad, I lost my opportunity.
I'm telling you, that would have been a quick win. All right, put your money where your mouth is.
And you know come out funny is other people.
They talking shit about his son right now. He's like, "Oh, your son's over here telling the ABC News my daddy's coming home, and he's over there dancing in the street." And they talking shit about his son.
And these are the same people who are not going to have
Christian Combs
insurance next week.
His twin.
Y'all not going to have food stamps next week. You're not going to have medical insurance next week. You're not going to have school. And this is the focus on this nigga.
This is why they look at our community and we sit up here just dying. Some of these Negroes in here gonna pull their goddamn hair off and cut their balls off. They don't know what to do, but they won't do anything. Put this much energy in all the shit that we need to elevate our community. Not, you know what I'm saying? It's perplexing.
And I called Diddy. I said, because I was on stage
Not you call Diddy up.
and I called Diddy a fake black leader, right? And I was like, I mean, look at all that he's done. I said, you know, he kept trying to present himself, you know, as this black leader. I said, but in reality, he was dropping everything that he was talking about. I said, he had no follow through because those were not his priorities. I said, and he was fake, a fake black leader.
Did you guys look at my link up on top, him on his knees? Do you see it? The sketch of him on his knees right there? Yeah, he's praying.
Yeah, he does this notorious thing where he fakes turn to God, right?
Yep.
I mean, like, okay, so you remember the case with the champagne bottle with Steve Stout?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for those who don't know, the reason why that whole thing went down is because of the Nas video, You Can Hate Me Now. And in the video, him and Nas are depicted as being on the cross, like if they were being, you know, crucified like Jesus, right? And then, you know, you don't see the full thing when you're making the video, but then when you see the visuals and how they augmented, right, you see what they've done. And he claims that, right, before he hit homie with the champagne bottle, that he told them not to put the video out, and they did it anyway. And it's because he went to his pastor and he let his pastor look at it and said, nah, we don't like this because it looked like you look like Jesus in this video. So he told them not to put it out, and they put it out anyway. And so he got mad and hit homie with the champagne bottle. He always referred to God when it comes to everything. That's what he does. He's a liar. He's a cheater. He's never honest. Just a fake dude.
Yeah, he's a fake. I mean, he's just a piece of shit. I mean, it's a shame. But you know, I put it in the chat, but I don't think that he's a leader. But he kept trying to present himself as one. Remember, vote or die. You know, like I said, I even in the room.
Let me read something from Tiny Harris, which is T.I.'s wife. Yeah. People want to charge you so bad for being freaky. It's nasty work.
Ew. Tiny, be quiet.
She's doing that because you remember she was charged.
Yeah. Who was charged?
She went through that lawsuit. Yeah, so that's why she's doing it.
Y'all are lucky.
Yeah,
Somebody said Tiny ugly soul.
My colleague just told me that, yeah, they were outside the courtroom with baby oil.
That's sad.
That is crazy.
That's very sad.
So this is what I wanted y'all to remember.
Go inside the educational department when they close it. I'll see you guys out there pouring, you know, stacking
Okay.
You guys, I'm just so sick.
So this is like if I was on the prosecution, like a part of my argument to the jury, you know, would be that, remember, Jane told us that Diddy would have her listening to sermons, gospel sermons with his ass, right? And then look at how he treated her. And then remember that when Diddy put out his apology, right? And he was like, you know, Cassie, I'm so sorry. I was messed up. I was so messed up. You know, I've been praying for God's mercy to make me a better man. When he made that video, he was doing freak offs with Jane, who just cried, right, about her proximity of her story to Cassie's. Like, this man has no repentance in him. So this fake bowing down on the chair, praying to God, shut up, go to jail.
$10 sounds pretty okay. I thought 10 years was good for all the shit I saw. So if he would have got more, I wouldn't have been feeling no kind of way. But I think 10 years is good. And in Fed time, don't you have to do like 90% of it or all of it or something like that?
I think somebody mentioned 85%.
Yeah, I said that earlier. It's about, I was saying 8 out of 9. 8 out of 9 you got to do in Fed stuff. So he ain't getting out for
That Brian Steele lawyer, he's gonna have a lot of people wanting him since he already won 2 RICO charges.
Oh my God. Well, just don't do the crimes, people. That you lining your lawyers up because you know you can't resist your criminality. That is so funny to me. I just, it is beyond me. But I think 10 years would be good for him. And then what about the other suits that he has? The people who are taking him to, what do you guys call it? Civil. Is that all still a go? Because I ain't had enough of this Diddy. Because I'm looking at how people are acting, losing their fucking minds over somebody who could give a shit about them.
You know something? And now that he's gonna keep his money because he don't have that RICO. Now they can really sue him and get some ducats from him now. So, hey.
All right, well, spread the wealth throughout the Black community, Diddy. We need it now under this Trump
I
era.
sent you something in the back. That's statement from Mr. Funkmaster Flex himself.
Oh no, I saw that. I'm like, Funkmaster Flex, I know you're not talking. I know you are not talking.
You read this one, the one I just sent you right now?
Oh no, I did. I read the last one you sent me.
No, look at this one.
Is he putting a bomb on it?
Because I'm driving.
You can read it if you want.
Read it?
Oh, wait. Yeah.
While you reading it, you gotta go boom. You gotta put the bomb on it. So that.
So stupid.
Put the bomb. Okay, wait a minute. Look, you know you ain't gotta ask me to be theatrical. Okay, let's see. All right. Yeah, we got that. The denial. Okay, wait. Got that. All right. Funk Flex. He says, I think Cassie has been through a lot, especially at a young age. She's such a nice person and always gave off good energy. I hope her and her family overcome all of the pain they are going through. The entertainment business is a dangerous environment that everyone is not built for. I do think you and your lawyers should give it a rest. You threatened to drop a book, then got paid out to not drop the book. If you cared so much to get your message out, you would have dropped the book. I get it. It's a case. You had to testify. You 30 mil up and 10 mil up from the hotel. You playing this lick. Please don't be mad at me, but I don't see you as a victim. You was young, Diddy made bad choices, and you made bad choices. When do you plan to teach the girls not to make the same mistakes you made? Just my opinion, at Cassie.
Boom. That was so trash of him.
And he at her in it, so that shit went straight to her.
Yep.
What 50 cents put out there?
That he's gay.
Yeah, it's always about him.
Diddy, he called Diddy gay. Hold on, let me see. Let me see if he put something when they denied the bill.
You know he's gonna drop the documentary.
Is he dropping it next week on his birthday?
There you go.
I don't know when he dropped it, but now the case is over.
It says Diddy beat the RICO. That boy a bad man. He likes gay. He's like the gay John Gotti.
Man, that's fucked up.
Get the fuck off my page talking about I'm supposed to be scared of gay Teflon Don.
Wait, who said this?
This is
Curtis Jackson.
Okay. All right. Well, Mr. Jackson. By the way, we don't want, as the only representative of the LGBTQ plus community on stage, I'm going to declare that we don't accept him. You straights have to own Diddy. Period.
Nah, he was traded, Scotty. Sorry about that. He was traded. He was definitely traded.
No. The draft is denied.
We take it from the gay side, guys.
Dawn Richards. Hold on. What the hell?
We'll take Cooper.
Dawn Richards calls Diddy.
To whether they're illegal immigrants, we'll sort it out later. So American citizens, and I don't know how many, I don't know how widespread it is, but anecdotally I can tell you that it's happened, are getting incarcerated. So if you were to ask the average American person, do you think American citizens should be incarcerated? And they would, by ICE, they would say no.
Absolutely.
But if you ask those same people, is ICE doing a good job of getting rid of them damn illegal immigrants? Yes. If they're here illegally, we don't want them here in the country. So it's all in how you ask the question, and it's all about perspective. And as King so aptly pointed out, a lot of what we're discussing today, folks haven't been able to connect the dots. Other people do connect the dots, but then other folks, when they hear discussion about them connecting the dots, are dismissive and say, well, you have Trump derangement syndrome, this is just the way he talks, this is all rhetoric, it means nothing.
Yeah, because to some extent, people on the left-hand side of the aisle freak out about Trump like it's a level.
Whatever the reason why, Marshall, the country is divided. So you can't say, well, people got to get off their asses and put a stop to this if we feel that this is a problem, and people need to get involved in the political process, when half the people are supportive of what's going on.
Half of the people are supportive but not involved in the political process. Ronald Reagan was right, so were the founders. You're only ever one generation away from losing freedom. And
nobody is arguing that point. Nobody is arguing that point.
Stop participating.
You're right.
To the left or the right.
Right. You made that point. You made that point, and nobody is arguing it. I'm just addressing, it's up to the good, that people have to stand up to this if in fact it is a trend toward authoritarianism. And I'm saying a lot of people are in support of the president's policies. So what then? People stand up in opposition to it. The people in Congress are impotent to do anything about it.
Yes, because their voters don't call them.
Okay, Marshall, a number of people do call and write their members of Congress. People hold town hall.
Enough.
I agree, not nearly enough, Marshall. I agree. Nobody's saying that it is sufficient. I'm just saying there are a sufficient number of people in the United States of